Good morning. Welcome back to Bible and Blues. And, we're in the parking lot again. It's been a little bit since I've done a video, but I keep saying that every video, which is getting kind of depressing. Uh, so today, this is just kind of a quick one after the weekend's events and dealing with the NFL and then, of course, the Cowboys last night and blah, blah, blah. And Trump said this and the players did that. You know, I like my Seahawks. I like to watch my Seahawks. Excuse me. And I'll still watch my Seahawks. I'll be honest. Yeah. But the fact that every this is the news feed. This is the narrative of the day. This is that news media issue that I have going on. And what my discussion is okay. So all day Sunday on social media, on Facebook, on Twitter, on I'm sure everything else, and all over my all my YouTube pundits now as well are all talking about the NFL. Everybody's talking about the NFL. Okay, and here's my problem with it. Did you know that on Sunday there was a shooting at a church just outside of Nashville? Okay. I would hazard a guess that there are a large portion of the population that had no clue that that happened. And the reason for that is that the media didn't cover it at all. They spent all their time on the NFL and on Trump. They spent. I saw. I didn't see. I ran across the initial story on my Facebook wall, my Facebook feed, from something that another one of my friends, something called Uproxx, UPROXX, which is some sort of it's an advertising site. So they put up some news stories and they'll kind of put up some of this, some of that, a little entertainment, a little of this, and they put 1,000 advertisements up. Okay, and so it's one of those. It takes 15 minutes for the page to load up because of all the advertisements. So that's where I first saw it though, and I was like, "Hey, what's this?" And it's sandwiched in between a couple of stories about the NFL and the owners and the quarterbacks and and the words that Trump said and all of this stuff. And I just got I read that, and then I started looking for that story elsewhere with the mainstream media, and I couldn't find it. You know, so our local news are the big ones. Cairo, Como. They have their. I happen to be subscribed to Cairo, and here in the Seattle area, and on my Facebook, and they didn't cover this particular story for 14 hours straight. For 14 hours straight, this story didn't get covered essentially by the mainstream media. I had a difficult time finding it anywhere. Um, why? Because nobody was paying attention to that. Nobody cared about that. Nobody cared about the death of a 39-year-old woman at the hands of a shooter. Okay, um, at a Baptist church in outside of Nashville, Tennessee. Except for obviously the local. I'm sure Nashville covered it. I'm sure Tennessee news covered it pretty well. But nationally speaking, I mean, this wasn't news. Uh, you know, it, I guess unless they could have tied it to Trump, maybe it would have hit the news really good. I don't know, but it certainly didn't wasn't hitting the news based on the fact that you know one person died, seven were injured between the age of 60 and 83. A 39-year-old woman died. Okay, the tragedy involved there. Okay, and certainly if you're a member of her family or a friend of hers, my heart goes out to you, and you're in my prayers. We pray for you and your family. We pray for God to be with you in your grief. We pray that you will come to terms with this, and we are grateful that she was a follower and a believer. That you will be with her again. The person who did the shooting People were shocked because when they recognized the man, he came in. Here's first thing I saw somebody say clown mask involved. Of course, that got all its own thing going on. I just heard ski mask. I didn't see anything about a clown mask until somebody, some strange reporting did that, and I'm not sure if that's accurate or not. But when it was revealed who it was, many of the parishioners were surprised because they had seen him attend the church several times, uh, you know, in the past, and so he was an attender, considered an attender. I mean, he hadn't been there for some time, but he had attended the church, and so they were shocked. I mean, they'd gotten to know him just a little bit. I mean, he's at least said hi, got to know his name and everything. But he was an immigrant from Sudan. His name was Emmanuel. I don't remember the rest of his name. However, I key into his name because I don't want to say he was Muslim or Christian. Emmanuel means, you know, you know, is a name for God, for Jesus. God with us is what it means, and so. Um, it wasn't necessarily a Muslim name. It was actually more of a Jewish or Christian, Jewish or Christian name, more Christian. Um, but so this the whole fact that they didn't spend any time on this, and and this morning, here it is, Tuesday morning, and sure enough, it was on the news. The NFL was. So you know, I have a real problem with this. I have this real problem with them putting forth their narrative, the narrative that uh, they're trying to drive this whole wedge in the country, for the sake of ratings. They're trying to drive a wedge between people who with the NFL players, and and against Trump and everything. That's fine. You want to be against Trump. I don't get political on this channel typically. Because I can understand why people don't like the guy. Okay, I can actually understand it. Um, I mean, but it's to a point where you don't see any of the good that the man has done either. But um, I have to admit that a lot of people did the same thing with Obama. So that's fine. But the whole concept of the media is driven towards the ratings now, and the advertisements, and the money, um, so much more so that and they're not there to report news anymore. They're there to report sensationalism. So that's my rant this morning. Tell me what you think about it. Uh, Tell me what you thought of the protests, versus how they were covered by the media. Was there news stories that you didn't see that you thought were pertinent nationally speaking? Nationally, things that happened that didn't get reported. I know I have friends that are all scared about North Korea. Personally, I'm not scared of North Korea. Um, I do believe in that whole concept of we do have the superior force. We could take down any nuke that they shot at us. Um, they shoot something at us, we can knock it out of the sky. I'm not that worried about it. Uh, they're not going to surprise us that much. And if they do, I hope I'm at ground zero. Okay, so, um, but that's all. There's another situation where they're driving that wedge, and yet, in spite of everything's all the hate towards Trump over what he said, China has taken away their financial uh, 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 dealings with North Korea now, which is going. I mean, that's basically the ones that North Korea traded with. So yeah, these are the things that happen because and so you might not like his tactics. Heck, I don't like his tactics either. But things are happening to a certain extent. Um, and some of them are going to shake out to be good things, and I think some things already have shaken out to be good things. Some are not. Okay. The NFL thing though is nothing but a distraction. It is a distraction. It is there to to work towards driving that wedge deeper, um, and I they're doing it for the sake of ratings. They're doing it for the sake of the narrative, and there's going to be a huge price for them to pay. later on in time. So anyway, yeah, I got 10 minutes in. It's time for me to get into work. God bless. You have a great day. I'll talk to you later. Grab your coffee. Let's get this day rolling.